started his fight right from your mother's womb. This is what your mother did not tell you, or this is what we don't want to tell you. Because in Revelation chapter 12, verse 13 to 16, Revelation chapter 12, verse 13 to 16, you will understand that the woman who was carrying the child, Revelation 12, and when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman. Look at that. Which brought forth the man child. He persecuted. Look at verse 14. He pursued the woman. Even the woman began to fly. And to the woman were given 2 wings of great eagles. Look up. That she might fly into the wilderness, into a place where she is nourished for a time and a time and half a time from the face of the serpent. The battle begin when you were in your mother's womb. Satan has been fighting you since not today. Please be seated. It is often God's plan and design to bless His people if His people are willing to be blessed. God does not force blessings. He does not force. Even instructions, He does not force you to follow. And anytime God wants to bless you, He brings you on the platform for the blessing. And that is one of the things Zion represents. Your coming to church is coming to be blessed. It's coming to be blessed. Unfortunately, many are in church, but they are not blessed. As is the saying is, you can force a horse to the river, but you cannot force the river to drink. So your blessing is available, but you cannot be forced to enjoy it. It is your prerogative, desire, absolutely your desire and decisions. Amen. I've been running a series for the past, how many weeks now? 6, 7 weeks? On how your foundation can be a defect to your destiny. How your foundation can mar or make your life. How your foundation has the capacity to hold you down even when you want to move forward. Amen. 2 Sundays ago I showed you what could be between you and your mother. The battle that could emanate from your mother's side to your destiny. Some of the things you don't know that is in your mother's hands. But yet, the reason for your struggle in life is that thing. And most times in life, we do not have that time to ask, or the mother is not bold enough to tell, or not woman enough to reveal. Because some of them are dirty things, but it will help you and I if we know some of them. Not even some, all of them. Amen. Come and talk to me. Amen. Amen. That is, whatever happens while you are in your mother's womb has a lot to do with your life now. And that was what Mary came to speak to Jesus about in Luke chapter 8 verse 20. Luke chapter 8 verse 20. He came and he said, hey, I need to see my son. Jesus was in the temple and he was casting out demons, conducting deliverance, performing miracles, healing the sick, giving the word of prophecy. But the mother knows that something is about to happen to him. He knows that, hey boy, there are things angel told me about you 30 years ago. I've not been able to tell you. I need to tell you now. And I said to you, your mother only is the one that knows the reason why you struggle in life. Your father will pay your school fees, but your mother will tell you why you fail exams. Your father will pay your school fees, but your mother will tell you why you struggle in life in spite of your education. Some of you are not here. Look up. You need to understand this. Very important. Very important and fundamental to your destiny. If you ever see a witch, there is no any witch anywhere who is not a referred witch. Just like you don't see criminals on the street. To recruit a criminal, you must have seen the criminal element in the life of somebody. Amen. Amen. A lady was a gangster, and one day she was at the robot, and a guy stopped, and the guy has no gun, has nothing, but the guy threatened her so much. But this lady has AK-47 in her car. But the guy that has no weapon was threatening the lady. 2-3 days after, the lady went back to that same spot, looking for the same guy. And he said, hey, come. He said, you again? He said, no, come inside the car, let's have some talk. I think I can use you. I love your boldness. That was how the guy was recruited. So also is witchcraft. You see an element of witches in somebody. And I said to you that it is very possible 97% of every witch you see, they were given by their mother. It is the mother. Because she carries you in your womb, in her womb. You were there, you traveled, you ate, you poo-poo, you wee-wee, you went to grade 1, you did everything. If your mother ever drank anything, you drank it together. If she committed any sin, you committed it together. And that is what, even last Sunday, I showed you about the things that happens while you are in your mother's womb. You know that the mother of Samson told him, says, son, kill anybody, fight anybody. If they point the gun at you, take that gun and shoot back. No bullet can enter your body, but when you see razor, borrow leg. But Samson did not listen. In Proverbs chapter 1 verse 8 it said, listen to the instructions of your father and do not neglect the laws of your mother. Mothers are lawmakers. They are what? They are lawmakers. And people are here today struggling, but they don't know how to battle and pray themselves out of their mother. You need to pray yourself out of that woman if you must fulfill destiny. Because there is a connection that wants to destroy you. If your mother go through hell, you go through hell. Have I blessed you? Amen. Some of you have been crying. You thought you had it all. I'm still continuing. Somebody said to me, and I said to you last Sunday, you need to not allow offense to take root in your heart. When you are offended, Acts chapter 12, 24 verse 16, he said, towards God and towards man. Look at Jabez. The mother gave him that name, Jabez. Look at what Paul said. Act 24:16. He said, I ensure that I have no offense towards God and towards men. I exercise myself to have always a conscience void of offense. Everything everything in your life, make sure you have a conscience void of offense towards God and towards man. That's the only way to let go. I told you that last time. There are people that are problematic. There are people with a problem. There are people facing a problem. There are people that are problem themselves. Their name is problem. And the Bible said to us that it is better to live in the wilderness than to live with such people, such wives, such mother in the house. It is better. David said, it is better to be in a corner than to live with a contentious woman. Some of you, your mother chased your father. Some of you, I told you about Neighbor, the wife of Neighbor, who went and asked David to marry her. And I told you about Lot's wife. Nobody knows his name from Genesis to Revelation. But the influence over Lot, everybody you cannot do without it. So you need to understand where you are and how you can pray yourself out of whatever connection between you and your mother. You need to pray if you must be disconnected. Amen. Amen. So in our quest for overflow blessing, it is a battle. There is a battle for the overflow. Say with me, battle for the overflow. Battle for the overflow. Started that. One of the battles you need to fight is the battle from the womb. I think I do that. I've even Wednesdays I still continue. That is the things, the struggle that came while you were in your mother's womb. And Ezekiel chapter 16, I told you, verse 3, your mother is the only one that knows your father. You don't know your father, your mother knows. He said, you are an Hittite. You are an Israelite, but your mother is an Hittite. Your father is an Amorite. By nativity, your mother is an Hittite, your father is an Amorite, you are an Israelite. How does that happen? Can God say you are a vendor? Your mother, your father is a vendor, your father is a Tswana, but you are a Nigerian. You say, God, Wahafane? You must be mad. How can my father be a vendor? So that is how it is. Our quest for the blessing begin by dealing with the curse. Write it down. You cannot pray for blessing where you have not dealt with the curse. The opposite of a blessed man is a cursed man. How do you understand or appreciate the place of the blessing? It is when you understand the place of the curse in your life. Genesis 27 verse 40. Genesis 27 verse 40. When Isaac was done blessing Jacob, Esau came in and he started crying. He was crying to a point that he said, Father, bless me also. And the man looked at him and he said, there is nothing nice to say or to do for you because your brother has taken on. But the day that you have dominion to break his yoke off your neck, the blessing can come to you. So in my own view, look at what Isaac gave to Esau. What Isaac gave to Jacob was his credit card. But Esau has the pin code. You didn't hear that? Come on, talk to me. Jacob thought he had the blessing. But after 20 years, he was still struggling with the angel. All he has is just a card without a PIN code. And God said, look up, and by thy sword thou shalt live and serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. That is the PIN. That is the secret. Leave that boy, let him run. Because most of us, the moment we get a little blessing, we leave our father. He left his father. He left his father's presence, thinking that I got it. I've been looking for a marriage, now I got it, I'm living. I've been looking for healing, now I got it, I'm living. I've been looking for breakthrough, now I got it, I'm living. I've been looking for my millions, now I got it, I'm living. Even when he left, Isaac said, but the pain to getting your blessing back is dominion. Say with me, dominion. Then when you have it, you will break this yoke off your neck. It is very frustrating to be running when you have nothing. Jacob thought he had everything. He didn't wait to collect the secret code to the credit card. What is the use of a credit card without a PIN? When you put it on the machine and it could not, you want to swipe, you could not. It's useless. That was why he has to struggle 14 years for a woman. Where is the blessing there? He thought you took it. No. Esau, relax. What an elder is to a child, I will show you today. I have blessing, yes. He's blessed, he's took all your things, yes. But in chapter 33 of Genesis, verse 8, the Bible said, when Jacob came back and he said, I will bless my brother. You remember? He said to him, is it 40? He said, I will take all this and he said, take all that I brought, but what Esau told Jacob, he said, my brother, keep it. Keep what you have to yourself. I have enough. I have what? No. I have what? No. I don't need what you are giving me, because after you left, I now see the reason why I need to work hard. Verse 9. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep that thou hast to thyself. I have found grace. I have found favor. I have enough. Somebody who was begging for leftovers after battles, he fought. Don't forget, the battle of Esau did not start when Jacob took his blessing. I think I've told you that over and over. The battle of Esau started when God chooses. In Romans chapter 9, verse 15 and 16, from verse 11. From verse 11, you will see that God said, Esau have I hated, Jacob have I loved, while they were still in the womb. That was the genesis of the battle of Esau. So when that played out, it played out because it had been concluded already. So our battle for overflowing blessing Write it down. It begins right in the womb. So you need to understand, to live short of the overflow is to live underflow. Write it down. To live short of the overflow is to live in the underflow. If it is God, say with me, if it is God, it is good. I can't hear you shout. If it is God, it is good. Shout it like you mean it. Say, if it is God, it is good. Your coming to God is coming to goodness. Goodness and mercy shall follow you. Goodness and mercy shall follow you. Your coming to God, write it down, is signing up for a life of abundance. He said, the thief cometh but to kill, to steal, and to destroy. But I have come that they might have life in abundance. Your coming to God is coming to fullness, not to emptiness. Shout, I have the overflow.
I have the overflow.
So you need to understand where you are. There is no provision in this kingdom without a contention. Write it down. No provision, no provision, no provision. Everything that heaven offers has to be demanded for. Somebody is not writing. Everything heaven has to offer. Everything. Your health, your finance, your marriage, your healing, everything. There is a provision, yet there is a demand. That God said it, and that is settled, is not over yet. There is somebody that must make a demand. There is a demand that must be on ground. There is a pressing. There is a force that must come to play before you can have what you desire. This is where we all missed it. God said it's our year of showers of blessings. You now went to sleep. First Timothy chapter 1 verse 18. 1 Timothy chapter 1 verse 18. He said, my son Timothy, according to the prophecies that have went on thee, war a good warfare. Everything that thou mightest with that word, with that promises, with that covenant, with those things God has spoken concerning your life, mightest war a good warfare. See, I hear. So why sitting down? Say, from the days of John the Baptist, Matthew chapter 11 verse 12, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and only the violent taketh it by force. It is there, but to also take it, there must be a force. Matthew 11, 12. The kingdom. So you need to understand. Look up that the battle for the overflow is a must. Don't talk of the blessing when you are not ready to fight for it. Don't talk of blessing. Pray for the blessing when you have not fought for it is an attempt to mock God. And God is not prodigal. Anything you do not fight for cannot remain. Even your Christianity is a fight. The only thing you don't fight for is your salvation. After salvation, everything must be fought for. Ephesians 6 verse 12 says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. So from the days of John the Baptist till now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence. So you need to understand where we are going in life. It takes violence to take your portion. It takes what? It takes violence to take your portion. It takes violence to do what? By force. God's will, God has willed that you have overflow. Are you getting it now? His will, he wrote it that I want my son Victor to have overflow. Did you hear that? It is there. And as the will enacted, concluded, sealed, why did he ask to have his son to come and die? A painful death. In order for that will to start. Because no man's will begin until he's dead. So Jesus died so that we can come to force. Are you getting it? Alright. So even in that will to take your portion, there must be an engagement in battle. A what? Engagement. I have often see and say, why do bad things happen to good people? Good people. You know there are good people. They mean very good for you. But that is a woman who will not have a child. That's the man who will not have a child. That's the brother who something is battling with. But somebody who have plenty of them, and you say, you know, some good women, when they drive past some places and they see children playing without even pint in their waist, that woman will even look at the child and say, I wish this is my child. I will take her or take him to Dubai just for holiday. But somebody is having them, but they are wasting away. That is the irony of life. You can never be 100%. That is what made God God over your life. There must be some deficiency. Otherwise, nobody will be in church. Will you be in church? Thank God you confess your sin. If everything you have, you won't. So it takes violence to take what is yours. So battle, write it down, for the overflowing blessing. Life is a battle for prosperity. The battle for the overflowing blessing life is a battle for fulfillment. The battle for the overflowing blessing life is a battle for destiny. Don't forget that. Write it down. Don't forget that. It's a battle for destiny. It's a battle for fulfillment. It's a battle for prosperity. Are you getting where I'm going? Yes. Don't forget how I start. It's logical. God wants you in the overflow. He wants to bless you beyond measure. God wants you to be a blessing. God wants you to have a running over measures. But it has to start by you contending for it. Hello? Amen. Come on, talk to me. Hello? Amen. You need to contend. As good as it sounds, it's not just available. As good as it sounds, as easy as it sounds. That's why, if it's available, nobody will pray. You just go to school. After school, you enjoy life. But there is still something you are stretching. Even after your education, after your certificate, there is still something you are stretching for. And the more you stretch for it, the farther it goes. But there is a hand that controls everything under heaven. And that's the hand you have come to seek this morning, isn't it? Amen. Somebody shout amen. Amen. Oh, I love God. I love God. That was a message I will never forget in my life. A great veteran preached it. God. Dr. W.F. Kumui. I was guiding that tape as if it's my life. God. That was the day my affection for God got on the increase as I was growing up in my Christian days. So you need to understand, God is ever God.
Amen.
God is what? Ever God. Even the president, they have battles to fight. They have problems. The most beautiful Miss South Africa has battles in his hands. As beautiful as she is. She's not married. Men are dumping her. Miss Nigeria, as elegant as she looks, she speaks to president around the world, yet nobody wants to have her hand in marriage, otherwise she will not be a miss. Or you think somebody will come today and say, I don't want to become a missus. So beauty sometimes, education sometimes, money sometimes will fail. You need to understand where you are in the act of God. Shout amen to that. Amen. So your fulfillment, your destiny, your prosperity calls for a battle. Battles are normal to life, write it down. But there is a major battle to fight in order to come into the fullness of God's blessings. And that is the battle that took root while you are still a child. I believe you and I knows we were once a child, isn't it? Come and talk to me. Amen. I can't hear you. Amen. Sister Rupiwa is not here. Where is she? I can't hear you. Shout amen if you are in church. Amen. If I can't hear you, I can't hear you. The battle from the childhood is a mystery. In Mark chapter 9 verse 17, everybody open your Bible there. Mark chapter 9, Jesus speaking, and he said, when did this happen? There was a boy they could not cast out. The boy was so aggressive, and it was so bad. And the father of the child came to Jesus and said, hey, look at verse 17. And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which has a dumb spirit. Are you there? Mark chapter 9, verse 17. Are you all there? Look at verse 18. And wherever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he foameth and gnasheth with his teeth, and bindeth away. And I spake to thy disciples. Please don't go and speak this English at work. Taketh, foameth, teareth, spake. Those are King James English, but I love King James. Like a brother was proposing to a sister, I said, can I marry you? King James brother. We see one Bible on his right hand, another Bible on his left hand. He's to deceive you, he's a lie. So my brother, I drop your Bible. If you want to propose, come and propose. Brother James, can I marry you? Verse 18. And I spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. Look at that. Thy disciples, all of them, he has 12. They could not. Verse 19. He answered him, and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. Oh, Jesus was so confident. He thought, wow, by one switch, that demon will leave. He didn't know that what he was looking is beyond that. Even the King of Kings said, bring him. Because there are battles that are just lightweight. With one prayer and one night prayer, they're gone. But some battles can take 10 years if care is not taken. That's such a battle. Look at verse 20. And they brought him unto him, and he saw him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed foaming. The demon took him even right before Jesus. He began to foam again. Ha! Jesus saw it, and he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him? Everybody read it, verse 21, the last part. And he said what? Yes. Yes. Of a child. Everybody say, and he said of a what? And he said of a what? And he said of a what? Of a child. When Jesus had that, he said, ah, okay, now I see. I told you that deliverance begins the day you know. The key to deliverance is questions. Are you getting it? There must be answer. Why is your life like this? There must be an answer to it. Since when? Because there is a genesis for this. And the father said, of a child. So these battles have no respect even for the disciples of Jesus. People that have robbed or disappointed. Listen to these battles from the childhood always requires extraordinary effort to battle. Write it down. Extraordinary effort. If there's anything you have been praying for in life and you have not had it, you have not been able to access it, check your childhood. Of a child! It started not now, sir. Today, every stubborn battle shall be buried alive. Amen. I can't hear your loud amen. Amen. What 12 disciples of Jesus could not handle, this should suggest to you that it's not an ordinary battle. So we are here this morning to battle with these battles that arises from the childhood. Why did Jesus ask that question? You want to know? Look at me. Hello? Some of you are not even, when you are in church and you are doing something, checking your nails or checking your phone, it irritates God. Let me just tell you that. When you are supposed to focus, can God be talking? Somebody come to your law firm now to ask for case, or they were in court and he was basically, he said, my madam, go, if you are ready, come back. When you are in church, we concentrate. Jesus asked that question. Look at this. Because he was interested in the family history. Write it down. Every family have history. Everyone. Ah, God! You are not with me. That this boy is being tormented like this of a child. Of a child. Write it down. Battles are universal. Battles are what? It does not discriminate. Even if you are white, even if you are black, even if you are brown, even if you are blue. Educate. Hello? So when you are experiencing this, check your childhood. It is very important that when you see yourself in frequent illness, very aggressive, it is as a result of the childhood. You have a lot of battle to fight. So what do I do? John chapter 3 verse 34 as I round up. Are you blessed? Yeah. John chapter 3 I'm happy you are getting blessed. John chapter 3 verse 4. Look at what Jesus said to one man. Are we all there? Please, I want you to open your Bible. I'm finishing up now. Verse 4. Nicodemus said unto him, in verse 3 he said, Jesus answered and said unto him, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except the man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom. Nicodemus said unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter in the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Did you see that? The secret to your rising in life is your salvation. Say with me, salvation. Salvation. You have to be born again. Not going back, but surrender your life and be born again. That is, listen to this, there are two paths. How many paths? How many paths? Write it down. There is an higher path that kills the lower path, that supersedes the lower path. Even if you are born wrongly, the higher path will correct it. The higher path is what Jesus was saying to Nicodemus. And look at verse 6. He said, not only see, you cannot enter. You cannot enter. Born of the Spirit. You have to be born of the Spirit. Number one, be born again. The higher path corrects whatever was wrong from the lower path. So if you don't want to fight the childhood battle, look up and ensure that your being in God is not questionable. I'm a child of God, not just on a Sunday. That is what I'm talking about. Some of you are an angel when you are in church. Angel. When people see you, they say, wow. But only for Sunday. Say, can a man enter back into his mother's womb? Say, no, but be born of the Spirit. John 3 verse 6, be born of water, verse 5. Then verse 6, be born of the Spirit. He that is born of the flesh is flesh. The reason why there are certain things we cannot do is because of our salvation experience. Salvation experience. You need to have it. Number 2, Luke chapter 1 verse 27. You need to dedicate yourself. Dedicate yourself. The breast you suck, the womb that carried you, may not have blessed you, but you can dedicate yourself. That's what happened. Blessed is the womb. Blessed is the breast that you drank from. But unfortunately, many of us, it's not the matter. It's a reverse. Dedicate yourself to God. Number 3, mentorship. What do I call it? What do I call it? What do I call it? Listen, life is not complicated. Daughter, sons, look at me. Life is not what? It's not complicated. Some of you are still 15, 16, 18, 21, 25, 28, 30, 32, 35. Nobody can talk to you. Life is all about you having a mentor. 1 Samuel chapter 1, look at that, verse 1, verse 11. 1 Samuel, everybody. 1 Samuel chapter 1. Anna prayed to God. And he said, so, God, I need a child. And if you give me that child, I will give it back to you. Verse 11, and he vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look unto the affliction of the handmaid and remember me, and not forget the handmaid, but will give unto thee handmaid a male child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall be no razor come upon him. Did you see that? This is the covenant his mother made. I told you that. When the child has not even been born. So look at verse 20. Let's run it down because of time. Verse 21. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord the yearly sacrifice and his vow. But Anna went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned, and then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. Abide forever. What am I saying? Look at verse 24. And when she had weaned him, she took him with her, with 3 bullocks, and on the heifer of flowers, and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the Lord, the house of the Lord in Shiloh. And the child was young. Verse 28. Therefore, also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent unto the Lord, and he worshiped the Lord there. You can see what happened. Samuel was given to Eli as a mentor, as a son, to serve the Lord, to worship the Lord with him. Even though Eli is not in the right standing with God. Look at that. Look at me. Because there won't be a need for a prophet if the prophet standing is no longer standing. Did you hear that? God brought Samuel because the time of Eli has expired. But yet, Samuel submitted under Eli. Mentorship. He was given to Eli to mentor. So when I see you coming late to church, I know who is your mentor. That's the devil. The devil does not want you to serve God. So he's mentoring you how to not make you serve God. Hello? Join any department. You are having attitude. You don't want to serve God. Ask your mother. Ask your mother. Your parent dedicated you to God. So anything outside of that is frustration in the making. Donated to God. If there is anything, when listen to this, when Samuel was hearing voices, Samuel, he was binding demons. At the point he was tired, he went to his mentor. He said, sir, I've been hearing my name everywhere. He said, you're serious, go and sleep. He came back again. So I've been hearing somebody calling my name. He said, hey, Fusek, go and sleep. The prophet was swearing at him. The third time he came, he said, Papa, this voice has not left me. He said, son, anytime you hear that, say, speak, Lord, for thy servant hear it. Who is your mentor? Who is your father? Who do you go to when you hear some things? When you see some things? Stop fighting demons. God may be speaking to you without you knowing. God may be speaking to you without you knowing. Eli mentored Samuel, and his life was no longer the same. Rise to your feet. What is number one? Be what? What is number one? Being born again. Number two,
Dedication.
Dedicate yourself. Number 3, what do you do?
Mentorship.
Mentorship. The way you live your life, you come to church, you do in church, it shows that nobody can mentor you. Nobody. You are just yourself. You are just yourself. You come. When you come, you say welcome. When you go, oh sir, I have an appointment somewhere. That is how mentorship works. And God knows. God knows. Even to the area of your tithe. Look at me. To the area of your tithe, you need mentorship. To the area of your work, you need mentorship. When your father has been praying for you and is not seeing your tithe, it shows that when you don't give your tithe, it shows that something is going wrong somewhere. Then he needs to pray hard. He needs to pray hard for you. He needs to pray more for you. If he has been praying 5 minutes before, he needs to increase it to 30 minutes. That is, but if you are not paying tithe, he keeps quiet because when he's there, he doesn't know. When he's not there too, he doesn't know. That is why you need to make yourself available for service. That is why you need to make yourself available. When we don't see you in church, we know, oh, that sister is always in church. That brother is always in church. Lift up your chairs. I surrender all to you. Lift up your hands and praise to God. Everything I give to you. I surrender. I surrender all to you. Everything. Speak to him in that song. Come on. We told him nothing. We told him nothing. We told him nothing. We told him nothing. Say, Father, this is my life. Take over my life. Begin to pray, begin to pray, begin to pray, begin to pray. Begin to pray, Lord, take over. I submit everything in me to you. I submit everything in me to you. Speak to the Lord, speak to the Lord. Speak to the Lord. Speak to the Lord. Lord, from today, I surrender all to you. I give it all to you. I give it all to you. I surrender all to you. I give it all to you. Speak to the Lord. 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 Lord, take my life. Let it be a sacrifice unto you. Let it be a sacrifice unto you. Let it be a sacrifice unto you. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Lift up your hands and say, Father, from today, everything I am battling with that does not want me to serve you, deal with them in your mercy. Deal with them in your mercy. I receive grace to submit under my leadership, for mentorship, for the next level in my life, in the name of Jesus. Lift up your hands. Lift up your hands. Rulia Kelere Shakatabalaha. Receive that grace this morning. In the name of Jesus. You will not fail. You will not fall. You will not falter. In Jesus' name. Please be seated. If battles can withstand Jesus, even when he was standing there, the boy was foaming. Jesus was shocked. He was shocked. I thought my presence could even chase these devils away. You know, some demons will come from far, they will kneel before him, and they will be trembled, but not this one. He took the ball, boom, took him up, pam, on the floor, and the boy was catching for breath, foaming. He said, "What? Papa, you have a question. When did this start?" Because there is a genesis for it. It started sometime. So, look at me. Look at me. You are battling with things today, but it took root when you were 5 years old. And today you are 35 years. So you are not fighting 5 years battle. You are actually fighting 35 years battle. So one punch can't get it done. Can't get it done. So anywhere you go, you see people facing the problem. People fighting a problem. People that are problem themselves. With or without invitation, problem comes. Problem comes. There are plenty, write it down, of assorted battles in life with different levels of difficulties. Assorted. When we mean assorted, assorted. Anytime you go to a boutique, you see assorted dresses, but you don't want all of them. You choose one. Let me just be honest with you. Battles of life, you don't choose your battle chooses you. The battle you want to fight, you can't choose it. Can I be honest with you? If there is any battle I want to fight in life, it's the battles to where do I park my cars. That's the battle I will choose. Which bank will I use to bank my money? I was in the bank in the US, and that bank is called the Bank of America. Just entering that bank alone, you have money. Somebody at the door, a white guy, will be there to first welcome you. Hey, that today you came to bank. They are so excited. That would be the kind of battle I would have chosen. Where do I have my breakfast? Either in Chicago, have my lunch in Cairo, and have my dinner in Lagos. That's a good battle. And you tell your flight staff, you prepare this, you prepare that. We're going to have our lunch in Cairo. We have our breakfast in Chicago. And we have our dinner in Lagos. And we sleep in Abuja. Oh, what a life. Oh, what a life. That is a good battle to fight. Come on now. Isn't it? Speak to the control tower in Abuja that will be arriving at 2 a.m. It's only in Nigeria I see where they close airport. Only in Nigeria. They have a closing time. They have only in Nigeria. I wanted to fly one. I got to the airport. They said, no, it has not. I said, what? You close airport? Nigeria is a blessed country. Only in Nigeria. You can fly at any time you like. Close. That's a good battle. I don't need to struggle for battle. I choose battle, but unfortunately in life, battle chooses you. Remember that when David fell, he counted the people. And God said, I'm going to deal with you. And God gave him battles to choose. It's either I kill you and the people, it's either I make there will be famine, it's either everybody goes through this and all that. God gave him the list. How many of you remember when God came? God came and said, you did this, you did this, you did this. Because you did this, God said, choose one. David said, I won't choose. He said, I will rather fall into the hands of God. Because in his hands are mercy. You don't choose your battle chooses you. Some women will never have chosen never to have children. It's a good battle to choose. You have your child, you have one, you give birth to one in Los Angeles, another one in Alabama, another one in California. You are just speaking English, Agana, Awana. But unfortunately, the Mushongo battle has not left you. You have a battle to fight. Battles of life are universal. Everybody you see are facing one battle or the other. That's why don't ever speak down on anybody. You don't know what they are fighting. You don't know what I'm going through. Thank God for clothes, thank God for suit. It will cover them. But you don't know what is inside. Don't think everybody is happy as you are. Don't think everybody is okay as you are. So battles are real. Battles of life are what? But one major battle you must fight to finish, you and I, is the battle from the childhood. Are you ready to fight them?
Yes.
And he came as of a child. These are stubborn battles that need aggressive action. Number one of them is demonic possession, demonic oppression, hereditary problem, household wickedness, curses and covenant, blood working against you. These are battles that have extraordinary. I told you last Sunday that if things does not work for you ordinarily, it is because there is an extraordinary force behind it. While others are praying and they have men to choose, you are praying, nobody is coming. Somebody said to me, he said, I'm resigning this November. I said, why? He said, because they won't give me leave for December. And I want to enjoy the whole of December at home. When I come in January, definitely I will get another job. I said, why? He said, for the past 4 or 5 years, that's how I've been living my life. I just enjoy my December. While some people are looking for one job they have not found. May God open your ways this morning.
Amen.
So the most mysterious battle that plague man, the most invasive with a trembling power, is the battle that took root from childhood. Don't forget that. Are you with me?
Amen.
The most mysterious battle of all battles, I stand to be corrected, is the battle from the childhood. Imagine how old you are now. And when you were 3 years old, when you were 6 years old, something happened. Your mother, your father took you somewhere. Somebody lay hands on you. When you were unconscious, when you were defenseless, when you cannot fight back, an arrow came in. Why you were still a child? Science has proved that the formation of a child starts at 6. At what age? At what age? 6. So 6 minus 40. You are battling with 34 years battle. Don't deceive yourself. Jesus set me free. I cannot serve Jesus and I'm under bondage. A lot of questions going on in church. Can a man be possessed? Can a man not be possessed? My friend, go and see that. When battles have entered, it has entered. Your coming to church is to give you weapon to fight them. Do you hear that? I can't hear you.
Amen.
It is to give you rifles to teach you how to shoot. Because they are there. They are there. Your being born again does not exclude you. You have that battle to address. So anytime those kind of battles come, they lie down, waiting for the day of your glory, waiting for the day of your testimony, waiting for the day you came to fulfill the reason why you were born. They will lie down there. They will pretend as if they were not there. That is how the battles from childhood operate. And let me tell you this. Look up. In the principles of ownership, it is of importance that you understand this. Eviction is not a gentle approach. It's not the what? As long as that person has been staying there, you can't evict. Anyhow. Hello? That's why even government, they will give you court orders. You saw what happened 2 weeks ago in Cape Town. The landlord of that facility gave it to UN, and then the foreigners took over. It was not, listen, there is no law that says police should evict people. It is just for the landlord to evict UN from that building. Then the people can be evicted. But the landlord still want to retain his rent and then go and get a court order to come and evict people. That was why it escalated to where it's escalated to. And that's why they will win against the police if they should sue the police. So eviction, you will see, they brought trucks, they brought this. To evict people, you need bulldozer. You need. So the battle that have taken root for 30 years, you know, I say, Father God, I confess that you are my God, let this battle be over. No! It needs a level of engagement, a level of warfare, a level of action, a level of sacrifice for you to deal with such. I see your breakthrough manifesting.
Amen.
That's why we have some tenants. They behave as if they are even the owner. Have you seen them? Deputy landlord. That's what we call them. Isn't it? In fact, some call themselves senior tenants. By the virtue of their years of tenancy, they don't need contract anymore. They have come to stay. In this Tebergile's village house next to church, there is a segment. I heard that this is something. I said, eh? Even in Victoria, there is something. This is Victoria. This is something. I said, what? I didn't know. Deputy landlord. They will be walking as if it's their house. When they come back like this, they say, hey. Not knowing that they are senior tenants. Senior tenants. One of my house in town, I have a tenant there. He's the one that collects rent. And there are 3 staying in that flat. So when he collects the rent, he put it in his pocket. When I said, where are the rent? He said they have not been. One of the days I saw one of the tenants. I said, where are your rent? He said, no, we have given it to the senior tenant. So when I said, senior tenant, come. He did not pay because he too has not gotten his own. So there are people like that. There are forces like that. There are powers like that that refuse to leave, even in spite of your prayer night, in spite of your prayer watches, in spite of your prophetic intervention. They will refuse on every side. Such is the battle that took root right from the childhood. And we are here to battle with them today.
Amen.
I said we are here to battle with them today.
Amen.
Why did Satan target children? And I will explain this to you quickly. Why did he target children? Why do so many children go through hard battles and turbulence? You need to understand this because Satan selects his victim right from the child. The adults that are struggling today, write it down, they were once a child yesterday. Addiction today started as a child. How did he select? Because there are some afflictions called childhood affliction. These are problems initiated while they were in their unconscious hour. People are praying for blessing today, but already their destiny have been diverted, perverted. From prosperity to poverty, from healthy to sickly, from abundance to lack. So it didn't start today. Number 1, through parental mistakes. The devil selects the victim through the mistakes of their parent. Number 2, parental experimentation. The devil selects children as a form of target, as a time of carelessness, as a time of development, as a time of establishment and foundation. I will explain. Parental mistakes. If you were born out of wedlock, if you were born and your mom or your dad were not prepared to have you, but you still came. Thank God you still came, but there's a battle for you. Automatic battle. Look at me. Parental mistakes does not have to do with your parent. It is you. It is what? It is you. Somebody were experimenting. A woman is experimenting a man. Look at me. One of the best things that ever happened in marriage is sex. But wait for it. If there's anything any couple tells you they enjoy, forget about all these lies you see in church. But nobody will want to tell you. And that's why you must do everything possible to marry your own husband and your own wife. Otherwise, what's supposed to be enjoyment will not be endurance. You're supposed to enjoy, now you endure. I told you last Sunday, if you don't marry right, what's supposed to become your prayer partner will become your prayer what? Parental mistakes. How can a woman say, I want to know if I'm still a virgin or not by sleeping with a man? Is that not madness? Parental mistakes. Parental experimentation. That's number 2. Some women, this is their only child or this is their first child. They are just giving the child everything. Everything everybody brings, they give. Whatever, everybody is just carrying the child. They are just experimenting with the child. But today there is deliverance for you. Amen. I said there is deliverance for you. Amen. So the devil has programmed a lot of spirit to attack children. Plant a seed in their lives that will follow them from cradle to their grave. In deliverance is what we call early riser spirit. Write it down. Early riser spirit. It starts in the morning of a person's life. And the agenda of this spirit is to land in the time of the cementing of life. Before it gets hard, while it's still wet, moldable, they settle in. They settle in. Now, once that is happened, once that is done, you need a hard job. And these following prayers must be prayed. Number 1, the prayer of the armor of prayer. You need the armor of prayer. Write it down. You need the armor of prayer to break the concrete. You are not writing. You need the armor of prayer. There are 76 armor of prayer. If you want it, I will give it to you. Number 2, you need the prayer of the eagle to pick those evil seed. This also 76. The prayer of the eagle. The eagle eye to be able to see before that child begin to manifest it. Number 3, you need the prayer of recovery in order to recover the wasted years. Not only that, you need the prayer of construction in order to repair what has been destroyed. You need the prayer of restoration. Are you writing? In order to recover the wasted years. And lastly, you need the prayer of barricade in order to stop them from not coming back. These are the things that must be done if you want to pray. The bottom line is this. What the devil wants to do, write it down, in the life of any adult has been concluded while they were still a child. If you are going to be happy in life, it has been concluded. If you are going to be struggling in life, it has been concluded. Concluded. This city of Victoria has been concluded before you came. Are you aware? Everything, the town has been planned. It has been planned. It has been concluded. It will interest you to know that there are things that will still happen in 50 years to come. And you will ask, where would they put it? It's been concluded. If you like build on that place, they will uproot it. As long as they are ready to fulfill that plan. Set in the concrete, but armor of prayer is needed. Say, Father, any battle in my life that have not manifested, waiting to manifest in the future, die, die, die. Shall any battle in my life that have not manifested, waiting to manifest in the future, you are a liar. And you are sitting there. You are so relaxed. Stand up. Stand up. Takes you 1 second to stand. Close your eyes. Don't move. These 3 prayers, you will close your eyes where you are. Don't move. Shout it. Shout it. Something is about to leave you where you are now. I said, close your eyes. Stand where you are. Shout, any battle in my life that have not manifested, that I want to manifest in the future, you are a liar. Die, die, die. Aha. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Yes, open your mouth. Rakapolika shukatabaha. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Pray this prayer seriously. Shout, battles incubated by darkness in my body. Shout it, let me hear you. Aha. Is that the loudest you can shout?
Battles incubated by darkness.
Ah. Dry up.
Dry up
Die.
and die.
Dry up. Die. Dry up. Die. In the name of Jesus. Open your mouth and begin to pray. Dry up. Die. Yes, 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 yes. Aha. Shake your body, shake your body, shake your body. Battles incubated in my body. Dry up. Die. Dry up. Die. You are not praying, you are not praying. Rakiko soko takatakata. Yes. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Your body need to be delivered. A child was asked, there was a text, a mass text. They said, listen, this is a text that will make you to promote. They said, Bob has 39 candy bars. Did you hear that? And they said to the boy, they said, and Bob eats 29. After Bob have eaten 29, what does Bob have? Answer in 2 minutes. And the boy said, Bob has diabetes. 29 minus 19, 10. The boy said, no, Bob has diabetes. Some children are just dullard. No matter how much you teach them, use a hand to teach them, use counting things to teach them, they can't get it. And now they are grown up, they become a counselor. Now they grown up, they become a politician. Now they grow up, they become a husband. Now they grow up, they become a wife. That spirit will not just leave them. That's how some people, no matter how much you teach them, they are so slow, they are so sluggish. It's not you. It is from the childhood. Certain type of spirit will invade the life of the children at the early age. At the what? When they move in, they do what? They lie down. They pretend as if they are not there. That is why we are here today to pray against these powers. They wait for the day of glory. Every man have a day of glory. Every man have a day of testimony. Amen. There are weak demons called womb demons. Write it down. They are baby, toddler, children, early demons. They are there. Toddler, babies, children. And they come out at the appropriate time. Throughout history, you will understand that the enemy has set focus on infants and children. That is his focus. Particularly during a major prophetic season, He is bent on destroying them. Rages from Jesus. From the time of Moses. He does not want the deliverer that is promised to emerge. He always wants to destroy them. He told the midwife of Egypt, kill all of them. Why? Because there is a Moses that must not come. Aaron said to the people, any child 2 years downward, kill them. Any son. Because I do not want the king of the Jews to manifest. So what are we saying? There is an uncommon attack against the children. And you and I, we were once a child before. And those attacks must have affected our destiny in one way or the other. Amen. Amen. Come and talk to me. Amen. Amen. So you need to understand when we are starting the prayer of today. Look at this. Look at the youth of today. Look at this morning. As we were driving to church, I saw some guy falling, drunk overnight. In fact, now, there is a bill they wanted to pass among the youth. That if there will be, you see the way we have water pipe in our houses, there should also be a alcoholic pipe. So we pay at the end of the month, instead of driving to the tap. That is when you get to your house, water, alcohol, you don't put the tap. You drag yourself to death. Because if it is possible with water, why not with alcohol? It's like that should happen. And you wonder, what is this age? What is this youth turning into? The devil is on a mass crusade against this generation. He does not know who is the next deliverer, and he cares not to know. He wants to destroy to finish. The Deborah, the Joshua, the Moses, the Daniel, the revivalist of this generation and the next generation. So he's always targeting the next generation. And we were the yesterday generation that are now the today's generation. He's always on the move. Amen. Amen. So battling with things today, we encounter them as a child yesterday. Is that clear with you? Amen. Is that clear with you? Amen. Many people they've eaten things from their mother's womb. Pineapple, oranges, apple, only water, only fire. You've eaten. Your mother ate, so you ate. Your mother drank blood, so you drank. And those are incubated, growing with you as you are growing, planted in the body, planted in the destiny. Jesus said, when the man saw his things, they were all in good condition, but when men slept, the enemy came and sowed tares and went his way. Whatever have been deposited in your life today, it shall be uprooted. Amen. I said it shall be uprooted. Amen. Most women you see that are prostitutes, facing serious sexual battles, practicing incest, were once a victim of abuse sexually. That's why I said don't ever blame anybody. They were once a victim of rape. Some things were planted through that. If your father rejected you, your mother rejected you, the enemy already have had a legal ground against you in order to attack you. So the prayer of today is a type of what I call deep healing prayers. The prayers that will make Jesus to walk back to your ancestry. The prayer that will make Jesus to go back to 100 years of your life and do some major construction in your life. A research was carried out, and it was proved that 15 out of every 16 hardened criminal have a difficult childhood experience. They are hardened criminal today, but it was because of their childhood. The seed was planted. Then they became an adult. So what am I saying? There is a foundation. I told you, foundation is everything. Limitation you are experiencing today, stagnancy you are experiencing today, rejection you are experiencing today, poverty you are experiencing today, limitation you are experiencing today, backwardness you are experiencing today, bad luck you are experiencing today, they are as a result of what have been planted while you were a child. Are you with me?
Amen.
So when the mother of Samson, God said through the angel, I said, you must not drink this, you must not drink that. Not because of the child alone, but because the mother must not. Because if the mother should drink a strong drink and do some certain things, it will affect the baby in the womb. What did your mother listen to? Did your mother serve the true God? Did your mother believe in the true God? Because whatever you drank or do while you are in your mother's womb have the capacity to destroy your life. Most mothers have their unborn baby initiated into witchcraft, into familiar spirit, into strange spirit. This is the foundation of what I call blind witchcraft. A child is a witch, but it does not know. Does not know. And he will tell you, I don't know. When you slap that child in school, your hand will come back like this after the day. Hello? Teachers, look at me. It's not every child you beat up. There are some children there that are your mother. You slap them, you slap your destiny. Especially if you don't have the fire of God. Why do you pray and you are being resisted? It is because some certain things are not dealt with. So, how do you know that you have a childhood battle to fight? Number one, there will be resistance to prayer. Write it down. There will be deliverance failure. Number three, there will be constant dream harassment. You are not writing. Okay? There will be unexplainable hatred. When people just hate you for no reason. Constant dream harassment. There are things, you sleep, somebody is harassing you. Somebody is sleeping with you. You know, parents can be very funny sometimes. An old man comes to your father's house and sees you and says, hey, this is my wife. You know, uncle, Malome, big one, calling a child of 5 years, as long as a child, my wife. You better say, hey, stop that. Whose wife? The man is dead now, but because of what has been said, sometimes the man will even go to market and buy something and give and say, this is for my wife. And sometimes it may be a joke. Sometimes it can just be a play. But there are demons all around. According to the traditions or the elders believe, they close the deal. Somebody has been proclaiming that you are his wife. Now the man, you don't want to marry that man, you want to marry your age. But the man is in Pumalanga waiting for you. He has paid Lobola already with bananas and plantain. He was bringing for your parent. Now you are waiting for another Lobola from who? Your mother has already collected your Lobola. Hello?
Amen.
So, if they are coming and you are fighting them, You cannot fight because they are coming as on a legal ground. That is one thing with the devil. He will not come and fight you anyhow. The devil, that's why, listen, they don't commit fornication in the realm of the spirit. They don't commit adultery. When the demon comes to sleep with you, he has the right to come and sleep with you. Hello? Amen. Look at these people, all these homosexual, bisexual, whatever you see. They don't do what we do normally. When a woman sees another woman who is to another woman, he will not go and approach that woman. They respect, he said, no. She could see that this one is for another woman. If a man sees another man who they are in the same category, gate to gate, God forbid. I can't even imagine. I'm still trying to imagine it. God help me. Can a man receive anything? Look at me. I can't. There is nothing to receive. A man is a giver, and somebody is calling himself a woman. Child. I'm still sleeping. I'm not waking up. And I will see some of them in robot, and they will be walking like, I said, Jesus. Jesus. You will never, ever see them cheating on them, on their spouses. Have you seen that? One man, a pastor wanted to join, because if they come to church now and say, you must join them. I have to, according to law. But thank God they will never know this address. Look at this. The man and the man, they wanted to get married, and they said, proclaim this. In love, in health, in sickness, till death do us part. They all did that. The man said, face the congregation, and he wanted to say, now I want to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. He was shocked. He didn't know what to say. He said, I want to introduce to you Man United. He didn't know what to say. The pastor, the priest was confused. Man United, I said, truly, it is Man United. That is what happens. They don't cheat on themselves. They come to harass you because they have a legal standing against you. Dream harassment is one of the reasons why you are fighting. Unexplainable hatred. Look at the next one. Character disorder. Listen, if God must bless you, your character must be in place. Some of us, we are so bad. Character. It started from your childhood, giving things to an adult, to an elder with a left hand. Character. Not knowing how to say sorry. Not knowing how to say welcome. Not knowing how to say good day. Not knowing how to... Even at work, you still carry that bad character there. And you say you can't find a job. Why will you find a job? Who will employ a bossy person? Nobody wants to employ you. Nobody wants to have anything to do with you. They just leave you in your bad. To be good is good. Take it or you leave it. Hello? Even those who are good are still not being favored. What about you? The Gossip Association of Victoria, you are the chairman. Everything happening, everybody knows. They will hear it in your house. So they must come there. You know why people keep friends? It's because of gossip. Gossip. That's why you keep friends, isn't it? They even come to gossip with their pajamas. When you get to Macau now, you will see all of them. They will sit down on the road with their pajamas, talking about things. You know why a woman can never do without a friend? So that the friend can wash his back, she can wash the back of her friend. Which back are you washing? What a yes, there's an English like that. So you are friends, but your beliefs is not the same. But can I be honest with you? Even a friend that must have a friend must show himself friendly. Are you with me? If all of us here can show love to people, this church will be far, far bigger than where it is. But it's all about you. It's all about what you want. It's all about who you are. May God deliver you. Amen. Character disorder. When you see a child who is rude, he's not rude today. He's been rude from the childhood. And the parents will say, hey, you will grow up. You will grow up. When a woman dresses and the pointer is showing everywhere, it's the way, character. There is a way you are expected to dress as a woman.
Amen.
There is a way. Manners, character. Who thought, I don't know where this culture comes, where they do heritage and a woman must come out without naked. What a demonic. And they will do it without even posting it on WhatsApp. Child, he will run there for 24 hours. People will be looking at your breast naked 24 hours. And you expect somebody to come and pay 50,000 for that breast? I shall not.